Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in today. We're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to travel to a friend of mine who is a chaplain for the Coast Guard to find out a little bit about what he does and if this is the right type of chaplaincy for you. So tune in. Hey everybody, welcome to the Tattooed Chap. I'm Drew, the Tattooed Chap, and today I have a special friend with me that's going to share a little bit about his type of chaplaincy, so that way we can all learn about this type of chaplaincy. So, Paul, why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Paul. I'm Coast Guard Chaplain and Auxiliary Chaplain for the Coast Guard, and I'm also here in Port Angeles. I have my wife and two boys, 6 and 7, Micah and Elliot, and so we're here. We've been here for 10 years. I've been the lead pastor in Port Angeles for the last 6, in number 7, and so it's been fun. It's been good. Hobbies that I got, I like hiking and being outdoors and just being on the water.
Yeah.
So
Port Angeles is perfect for having the water and also for the mountains and hiking. And interesting thing is, Paul is now the lead pastor of the church I grew up in and experienced a lot of my upbringing. I was the janitor here at this church when I was a young kid, and so it's just kind of cool coming into this church and getting to see someone that you trust and that's an awesome pastor leading like my home, my birth, if you will, my Christian birth.
Yeah.
And so thank you and for all that. So you mentioned that you are a Coast Guard chaplain. Can you explain what that is maybe a little bit and maybe how you got into it?
yeah, so it's an auxiliary offshoot and a part of the auxiliary, and so Coast Guard Auxiliary would be considered to something like the reserves, or it's a coming alongside the Coast Guard, and so in that process they have a I can't remember what the name is, but a branch that you can go down, a program, that's what I'm looking for, the words program. And so they have an auxiliary auxiliary chaplain support program that if you have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree and you're endorsed and go through the whole process like any other chaplain would, military chaplain, then you have the capability of coming alongside a Navy chaplain who is put into place as the Coast Guard chaplain for a couple of years, and then they are your connection. They're kind of your supervisory chaplain that you're connected to, but you're an arm extended of that.
Right.
And so I know that's kind of deep, but the Navy is the Coast Guard doesn't necessarily have a specific chaplain. The Navy is the support to the Coast Guard for chaplaincy.
Right. Yeah, so if you are tracking, Navy chaplains serve the Navy, they serve as chaplains for the Marines, but also for the Coast Guard.
Any water.
If you're near water, right?
Any water.
And so the Coast Guard Auxiliary Chaplain is someone that is a volunteer local that jumps in to serve that regional Navy Coast Guard chaplain, because he's not at our post every single day, but you're a local that is able to serve the men and women that are serving our Coast Guard in this region.
Correct. And so that, for me, my district chaplain is 3 hours away, so he's in Seattle. So for him to come and have to support these individuals, it would be a phone call, a Zoom meeting, where he's not able to have the face-to-face because it just wouldn't be able to be here. So just having that person local, able to be there, literally where I sit from my office, I look out and I can see the unit, the sector field office, the air station, the boat station. There's 3 stations there, and they're all 3 separate. Even though they're all there, it's all 3 separate. So the sector field office is connected to Seattle, the air station Port Angeles, and then you have boat station Port Angeles. So there's all these different pieces working together, and so they just need that support. Yeah,
that's really cool that you're that extension, that immediate extension in times of need and crisis, and just also being part of the community. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So how'd you get involved with that? How'd you find out about it?
Yeah, so I actually, family members, here's just kind of really brief. I have 3 family members that were in the Coast Guard. My grandpa was in the Coast Guard, and then I had 2 uncles that were in the Coast Guard, and they both retired out.
Okay.
And so, as I was growing up, I felt the call to be maybe into the Coast Guard, but also be in ministry. Well, not knowing where that was going to lead, I didn't know what was going to happen. So I've always had that mindset of military, Coast Guard, something along that lines. And so in the process, I was here, and I've had for 10 years, I've been looking out, knowing that I've been here for 10 years, looking out at the base. I'm going, one of these days I'm going to get on there. One of these days I'm going to make connection with these guys. Because we have people that attend the church that are from the Coast Guard, and they're family oriented and all of that. And so I actually was meeting with, the individual that was attending was the chief, the fire chief. And so they were just met with him for lunch, and I said, how do I get down here? How do I make this connection? And he says, well, I wonder if you could be a part of the auxiliary. And I'm like, never heard about it. Let's talk. So he gave me a tour of the base, and then after that I got on, and I started just walking through the process, not knowing the process.
Yeah.
So for which I think we're going to get there at some point, but the process is very long. And it's not a short process. It's something that takes, you got to go into the auxiliary first. You have to become boater qualified. You have to become, I say boater qualified, boater safety qualified. Then you have to be basic qualified. So you have all of your basic qualifications to be just like any other Coast Guard. So that's the part that is really cool, is that even though we're auxiliary, we're still doing some of the same things that our active duty members are doing. Yeah. And so that's the cool part, is that we can take part in vessel examinations where none of our members that are in the Coast Guard have time to just say, oh yeah, let's just sit around Walmart and let's have boater examine it, and do vessel exams. It doesn't work that way. They're gonna have, search and rescue things happening. They're gonna have to do their air time because they're flying, doing whatever else. They gotta get their hours in, right? Or they're gonna be underway or whatever it may be. So while they're doing what they need to do as part of the Department of Homeland Security, they are able to do that while auxiliaries are back here at home, able to do the vessel examinations, be the trainers to those things and help in that process.
So that's kind of cool. Like, you get to be a chaplain to the active duty guys and gals, and also to the auxiliary, and almost in a way to the community in a weird sort of way, just by being able to be a part of all those different things that are going on.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Just as for the auxiliary, I'm not connected to the auxiliary for that chaplaincy. More so for the members. Okay. So I'm not in where we're at. There's different levels. So you have the flotilla, which is like at the bottom, and that's where the people
rubber meets the road.
Yeah, basically, and that's the group that you're connected to. And there's one in Port Angeles, there's one in Sequim, and so you have these different pockets, right? And so I'm not necessarily a chaplain for that group in particular. It's really that I'm a chaplain for the unit. Okay. So take that hat off, and then I can be as a pastor to those individuals. Okay. So it's not that I get to use my auxiliary chaplain support.
Right. That makes sense.
I'm able to take that hat off, and they already know that I'm a pastor. So if I can differentiate between the two, and they're able to do that, well, then I've got an opportunity to minister in both realms.
Right. So really, it's almost like a community pastor. That's pretty cool. So it's a really good way to get into the community if you feel like you're stuck in the four walls of the church and making a difference in your community, both practically and spiritually.
Definitely.
So, very cool.
Yeah.
Has that been rewarding? How's this been rewarding so far?
So with COVID and everything, I haven't even been able to get down there until just like in the last couple of weeks. And so the rewarding part was that I've been able to, even though I haven't been able to be down there face to face with individuals, I've been able to make connections with people and have phone calls and talk to people. And obviously we have, again, people that are attending the body and here at Lighthouse and making that connection with them and having conversation. And so in all of that, it's just making, that's the rewarding part, is that I get to pour into these individuals, and at this moment, they're the voice down there saying, hey, you've got to check this out. You've got to be a part of this. You got to come and see what's going on. And again, it's not that we're looking to build a numbers thing,
right?
But if there's a Coast Guard family that's excited, that's going to trickle down for the 3.5 years that they're here. And so when somebody comes in new, they're going to be, hey, you got to check this out. You got to come and see what's going on. So I think that's the rewarding part, is that we're able to pour into the life of the individuals without having, per se, a strong the presence per se. Yeah. Even though that's what we do, where we are to be the, make a presence. But in the bigger scheme of things, I look at it and I go, if they're here and I'm able to impact them here, that means that when I'm down there, they've already got that connection with me.
Right.
And so then they're going to be like, hey, come check out, and they'll call me Chappy or whatever, and it's even around the building, it's like Chappy.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, you have this, you're going to have this trajectory of like a long-term thing that a regular chaplain's going to come and go, like the Navy chaplain.
Right.
But you're going to have this longevity and be able to build this, this community and this trust, if you will, within that community. That's what I was trying to say, build this trust within the community. And if there's ever a crisis that occurs, Chaplain King's just right up the hill, and you're really just a phone call away, as opposed to a 3-hour plus drive, type thing. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. I like that. Should people consider, or why should people consider maybe lay chaplaincy like this, or maybe even professional chaplaincy based off of your experiences so far already?
I think if this is a great opportunity, as you already said, it's a community pastor. If you're looking for something like I was, I've been like, man, I really need to figure somehow to get out of this building. Not that I don't want to be with my people, but at the same time, I want to be with those individuals who they may have a belief of whatever that may be, but I'm able to come alongside them in their difficulty. Maybe it's a family situation. Maybe they've just come off of a search and rescue. Maybe it's and they need somebody to talk to. Yeah. Again, that chaplain that's 3 hours away is only going to be on the phone with them. Right now, they get to sit down with me, like you and I. We're sitting down and we can have this conversation and say, "So tell me how you're really feeling."
Right. Yeah. No.
Heart and soul, man.
Yeah. No, I think that's 100%. As an active duty chaplain, it's the same kind of thing as just being able to be present, and people know that you're present. There's almost like this, I don't know the right word to use, but like there's a calm that comes with just knowing that there's someone you can talk to and that's there for you, right? You're not in the chain of command that's, doing all this stuff. You're just there for them, and they know that. And I think one thing that's cool about lay chaplaincy, like you're doing, is you're not doing this for a paycheck. Yeah, I get a paycheck, so there might be some suspicion, but you're doing this as a volunteer.
Right.
And
strictly.
These people know that, hey, this person actually cares about me. He's given his time and energy to be present and to be available. I think that's really cool.
And I think that's one of the biggest things too, is that, if you're gonna do it, beyond a shadow of a doubt why you're doing it. I'm not, like you said, I'm not doing it for a paycheck. I'm not doing it to get another gem in my crown. Okay, to say. This is really, I just want to love people because of whatever they're walking through. Yeah. Be anything. And so just having that capability, and I would encourage anybody, if you're looking at something that's going to get you outside the four walls, this will definitely get you outside the four walls. And you'll get the training that you've probably been longing for, stuff that you can use not just in your chaplaincy, but also within, if you're a layperson, you can use it anywhere. I mean, really, the training's phenomenal.
Right.
So it just all depends on you as the individual and how far you actually want to take it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I just want to say, Paul, thank you again for taking the time to kind of explain a little bit about Coast Guard Auxiliary Chaplaincy. I wasn't even really tracking what this was or that it existed until you jumped in. And I had heard about it, but I didn't really know about it. And it's really cool just what kind of opportunities are out there for either lay leaders or ministers to jump into ministering to their community and being present. And this is definitely one that you maybe perhaps should check out. And Paul, this is the Tattooed Chap channel, and so I have to ask, do you have a tattoo?
I do not have a tattoo.
Okay, fair enough. That's cool. We'll get you to join the team here someday.
Right.
But hey, everybody, thank you for joining the Tattooed Chap. And if you like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button. And if you have any comments or questions about this or this type of chaplaincy in general, or just about life and faith, please comment down below and we'll respond. So thank you. We'll see you later.